For years, building a smart home meant dealing with severe fragmentation. Every smart plug, light bulb, and health tracker was locked inside its manufacturer's proprietary walled garden, requiring a dozen different apps just to turn off the lights and lock the doors. Then, an open-source standard called Matter dismantled those walls. Backed by the major tech giants, this protocol finally allowed devices from competing brands to communicate directly with one another. With that barrier gone, smart speakers evolved. They became the central nervous hubs of a unified physical space. Solving the annoyance of device chaos made our daily routines incredibly smooth. It also meant we inadvertently wired every aspect of our physical lives into a single, highly vulnerable attack surface. To see how this architecture functions, we can break its deployment down into a 12-day cycle. Day 1 is the activation of the perception layer. The first thing the network does is map the room. It continuously pulls in ambient metrics, checking the physical temperature, humidity, and motion, and translates that physical reality into digital data. Then it maps your body. Wearables begin extracting your biometrics, reading your blood oxygen levels and heart rhythms to feed into the wider ecosystem. By simply sitting in your living room, you are generating thousands of precise data points every single millisecond. These integrated consumer products function as sensory organs, mapping our physical reality with every millisecond of telemetry. By day 4, the system activates the network layer, solving the logistical problem of moving this massive flood of sensory data without collapsing the system. We usually think of internet connections in terms of heavy lifting protocols, like Wi-Fi and 5G, pushing large files. But the Internet of Things is driven by millions of tiny, invisible microtransmissions running constantly in the background. This chart compares the communication protocols keeping these systems alive. Wi-Fi consumes high amounts of energy over a very short distance. To get around this, engineers use LPWAN, low-power wide-area networks. This allows thousands of sensors to whisper data across miles without draining their batteries. These overlapping protocols stitch together to create an unbroken, invisible data highway that passes straight through our walls and our bodies. Because this communication never ceases, our most intimate physical data is perpetually in transit, hanging exposed in the air. On day 7, that data hits the processing layer, introducing a crucial technique known as edge computing. Sending every piece of data to a distant cloud server creates latency, a fatal time delay. Edge computing solves this by processing data locally, at the network's physical edge. In emergencies, if a wearable detects a fall, the system doesn't wait on a cloud. It instantly triggers a local alert. By day 9, the speed of localized processing enables the system to transition into the AIoT, the artificial intelligence of things, where the network actively learns behavioral patterns from the data stream. It can cross-reference months of your sleeping habits and biometric trends to identify a subtle cardiac anomaly, dispatching medical services before you even feel chest pain. The AIoT operates as an intelligent entity, analyzing trends to anticipate human needs before the user is even aware of them. That brings us to day 12. The network reaches the application layer, achieving full predictive autonomy. The environment now flawlessly adjusts to human needs. Climate, lighting, and mechanical maintenance all regulate themselves based on your physical presence, requiring zero human input. But that utopia comes at a cost. It only works if it is fed a continuous, highly intimate diet of your behavioral and biometric data. Because the Matter protocol and edge processing tie everything together, total unification means a single compromised entry point threatens your entire physical reality. Inside an AIoT ecosystem, perfect convenience is structurally indistinguishable from total surveillance. The most critical vulnerability isn't your phone or your computer. It's the firmware, the low-level operating software running on cheap, unpatched sensors. A hacker can target a forgotten smart bulb in a hallway, exploit its outdated firmware to bypass your Wi-Fi security, and siphon out the highly sensitive health and financial data stored on your network. Securing this architecture requires a framework called privacy by design. It shifts data protection from an optional afterthought directly into the foundational code. Devices must be engineered to automatically expire old data, run localized edge encryption, and comply with privacy laws like GDPR and the CCPA so that corporations cannot permanently hoard your life's metrics. We are existing within a dense web of intimate data. Our survival in this autonomous era depends on moving past basic connectivity, hardening our personal environments against the very sensors that make them convenient.